June 23rd, 2019. This is Amari's poo. It is extremely hard. Like, very hard. This thing is like 6 inches long. Almost 2 inches wide. And it's extremely hard. Oh my God. Okay, people. I don't know how much battery is left on this, but anyway, it is June 23rd, 2019. I'm back to making juice for Amari. I've connected with a lady online that knows a lot about fermenting, and she understands the different diets that people have, like the different fads that have been out there over the years, and you know, she's followed the trends, and she's experimented, and she's invested lots of time and done lots of research, and you know, and has participated in the things that she's talked about over the, you know, her lifetime in terms of educating people. So anyway, I've asked her to do a little bit of mentoring with me in terms of fermenting food. Now, she didn't tell me how to ferment pickles, but as you can see, I've got a big jar right there. Cucumbers, right? They've been there for about 3-4 days. Anyway, I've got these little carrots that were in my fridge. They're not as sweet as I'd like them to be. And that one's not too bad. Anyway, I'm doing the watermelon juice again. And I want to ferment carrots. Right? Because that's, I'm thinking, is going to help Amari the most when it comes to digesting food, people. You know, having some serious issues here. Anyway, I've got some young coconut here that I'm going to get the water from. I'm going to start first with the carrots. I'm going to juice them in my juicer. This is all I have. And, but I think I'm going to pasteurize the carrot juice just to be on the safe side. I don't know if it's necessary to pasteurize carrot juice because it's almost, well, it's a root, right? And you know how we get these recalls with these vegetables out in, you know, British Columbia, Canada. So, you know, if it was a spinach, probably. If it was a beet, I don't juice, people. I don't like to drink my food. Right? But I'm juicing now, so, and Amari really likes the watermelon juice with the pineapple. So today we're going to mix it up. We're going to do carrot juice, which I'm probably going to pasteurize at 190 for 1 minute. Let it cool. Mix it in with the watermelon juice with a little bit of coconut water because it has different properties. Because I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to comfort his intestines. You know, I'm trying to ease his intestines. They're not working correctly. There's something wrong, right? I did a little video on the poo that he had yesterday. I really should include it into this clip. I don't want to get flagged, though. You know, people coming up on my YouTube channel. Oh, you know, it's one thing that you're putting your dead daughter up on there and you're disrespecting your dead daughter and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not disrespecting my dead daughter. What I'm doing is I'm getting justice for my dead daughter. And if I put Amari's poo that he had yesterday, you'll see what I'm up against in terms of it was over 6 inches long, people, and it was like almost 2 inches in circumference. Can you see that? Like, and he's just a tiny, teeny, weeny little baby with a waist that's not even normal in terms of, like, you know, Shimei had a very small waist, so maybe he inherited it from Shimei, but I don't know. I think he struggles. I think he suffers from a little bit of deformities because his back is very curved too, right? But either or, his intestines are not working. They're not digesting the food correctly. So that's what this is what the coconut water is to help lubricate. Right along with the watermelon. Carrot is more for nutritional, the vitamin, A and that type of stuff, whatever, the carotene, right? So I'm going to try and, you know, put these three together somehow, some way. And then I'm going to take the pulp on the advice of this woman, and I'll add her channel to my description box, right? And so that you can follow up on her recipes and and general information that she's been putting out there for years, right? Because I'm finding, I'm reaching out for help, people. So hold on a minute. Okay, so there's 2 coconuts. You can see, right? I like to take a hacksaw and cut them in half as uniformly as I can. And then I scoop out the inside. I don't really do anything with the inside, but maybe I might now, who knows. And then I let the shells dry, and then we're going to do Andre's walnut art. So now what I'm going to do, people, is now that I've got that ready, it's not something that I'm familiar with. This is, I don't know. So anyway, it's sweet. That's one thing I'm noticing about it, is sweet. So now I'm going to get on with this. Hold on. Okay. So I'm still at it. Anyway, I haven't really had a chance to read these books yet. And I just looked online about coconut water in terms of like freezing and just general information. Apparently, it has a lot of potassium in it. So technically, you're not supposed to drink too much all the time, because potassium can cause a lot of problems. Like, you almost need to be a scientist to do this stuff. Anyway, when I'm doing it this way, people, I find that it's working. But the problem is, okay, hold on a minute. Do you see that water boiling? I boil the water because I'm going to ferment this carrot in a jar, and as well as I'm going to do some frozen peas, because I can do that too. This is what this lady told me I can do. So at the end of the video, we're going to be fermenting, right? So I'm boiling water because I like my water boiled, right? It boils off the chlorine and stuff. 10 minutes at least, right? So anyway, here's the issue, people. There's more than one group of people feeding Amari. And you have to remember, it is what it is. In terms of the person who injured my daughter has not once ever said anything to my family. He just lurks around, looking out his mother's window, looking at my daughter, the one remaining daughter that I have, right? Spooking everybody out. Well, his mother, drives back and forth and picks up the baby. And even then, they haven't been consistent. She's always canceling because apparently she got into a car accident. So now she's like physiotherapy because, she's got a windfall now, right? So she's going to physiotherapy and all this other crap. But the point is, people, last week, I took Amari out to the car. I handed her a bottle of, frozen juice. I gave her a jar of the beets. And I even gave her a jar of the beef broth, the frozen beef broth. Told her to cook it up with a sweet potato. Because I'm trying so hard to get him having easier bowel movements, right? Not for me, for him. I'm trying to get it so that his stomach can digest the food, so I've lowered the portions, and, I'm trying different things, right? Oh, no, I don't want the beets. We got beets at home. Oh, and I did a little jar of ground up blueberries. I have this little food chopper, right? And, I went out of my way, right? And I gave it to her, and she handed it back to me, told me she didn't need it because she has all that stuff at home. And I'm like, okay. So, what happens, she brings him back, and I say, okay, well, what did you feed him? The week before, it was pasta. My daughter's been dead for over a year, people, okay? It's not like nobody knows that Amari struggles with constipation. These people, they know that. So why are they giving him pasta? I said, well, maybe you should stop. Like, you don't understand, like, what it's like for me trying to get him to poo. And because they only have him for a short period of time, 3 days a week, assuming that the grandmother's going to pick him up these days because she's got other things to do, right? As the father is lurking around in the fucking background, stalking It's just stalking. It's just stalking people, right? They don't want me to have them. Just remember that. They don't want me to have them, right? So, if one time she tried to help him poo, maybe twice, but, nothing like what we go through because we're with him all the time. And then we get him back and find out that they gave him pasta. Okay. Last week, it wasn't pasta. It was barley. Barley with beans. Google barley. Barley is constipating. Why? I offered you the ground up, really pulverized blueberries. I offered you the beets that he really likes with the beef broth and, the turnip, that type of thing. I gave you the juice and you turned it away to turn around and give him barley. Hold on a minute, people. Okay, I'm giving him what he wants. He wants his watermelon right now. So while I'm giving him the watermelon, I'm going to talk to you about this because this co-parenting, this isn't even co-parenting what I'm going through, people. Like it's this co-parenting that the courts are putting on vulnerable women and children because they're kind of trying to cater to abusive men, right? Anyway, it doesn't work when there's like people that are fighting with each other. Even though it's cordial, right? It's a competition of who's better, who drives the best vehicle. Well, I don't have a vehicle, so I lose in that department. My car's still sitting out in the back because of what happened to Uncle John, right? So in the meantime, what if they're giving him coconut water? They're Jamaicans. Why wouldn't they? Have they bothered to look online to find out that technically you can't drink too much in a day, every day, for a year straight? It would cause a problem. You can only drink so much at one time. You have to space it out. But because I never really get the full info as to what they're feeding him, we gave him some pasta. Well, what do you mean, pasta? Well, pasta. Okay, how much pasta? Oh, well, just a little bit. Well, when you see his poo, people, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's not just a little bit, okay? Because that little bit can cause a lot of freaking problems. Same thing with barley. Like, why after all this time? It's not like you don't know, right? It's not like you don't know, but you're giving him things that are hard to digest, that are gonna, constipate him worse. If I give him stuff like this, people, and the things that I have been doing for almost 2 weeks, it was getting better for him. And then I don't know. This last week, it's been terrible. And then yesterday was like, it's so traumatic. So traumatic. Right? So traumatic, it's not even normal. Tisha and I have asked for a dietitian, but they don't give us one. The pediatrician, just feed him what you want. Well, no, it doesn't work. But, being that he's not gaining a lot of weight, then, give him Pediasure, which is, basically a whole bunch of chemicals to mimic vitamins. And we did that, and that didn't help. That didn't do anything. Right? So, anyway, I'm just choked that, I go through all of this to have him disappear, right? And come back and then have to deal with whatever it was that they fed him, because again, I don't get the full fucking details on it. I just get, it was just some barley with green beans. I said, barley? Well, like a week ago you were giving him pasta. Like, why? Why are you giving him pasta 1 week, barley the next week, right? When I'm saying, here's some some beets, right? You know, here's some blueberries. You don't have to go out of your way. I've already done it for you, right? I'm trying to see if this works, you know. It was working for a while. You know, it seemed like, you know, we were getting through the freaking, you know, door there, but then all of a sudden it's just like, you know, it's like I don't know, people. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. All I know is I feel like I'm being sabotaged. For everything that I'm trying to do, there's other people out there trying to sabotage me, right? In terms of giving them barley and pasta and shit like that, so that, you know, they can sit up there and they can blame me. And I'm pretty sure they're still watching my videos, right? So, you know, you go ahead and you do all that. Because at the end of the day, the only person that you're hurting here is Amari. That's it. You're not, you know, you're not hurting me. You're upsetting me. You're frightening me when I'm having to deal with this stuff. But, you know, I'm not the one smirking when I'm walking away. Well, I gave him barley. Yeah, well, you gave him barley, all right. You know, what does that tell you about you? Seriously, right? Sometimes I don't even think this woman knows what's being fed to him. Because she's supposed to be there supervising. And I'm like, well, what did you feed him? Oh, well, some cereal. I said, well, what kind of cereal? You know, now you're getting into your wheats, right? Oh, well, you know, cereal with little bits of fruit in it. And I said, okay, but what kind of cereal? Asking over and over, well, what kind? So I know, right? Because I'm the one that has to, Tisha and I are the ones that have to deal with him struggling with his poo, right? They get him, you know, he's got a poo. They don't want to deal with it. They might try for a little while, but they're not there for 6-7 hours trying to help him through it, right? We are. They just want to have their little visit, feed him whatever they want to feed him, and then send him home. Okay, the battery is low. So anyway, I fed him that. He ate it all. He liked it. Right? It's all gone, people. So, this is my dilemma. Right? In terms of... Obviously, like I said, I am trying to do the right thing here. And then I get a monkey wrench in there in terms of, well, we gave him pasta. Okay, pasta. That's going to be a big headache. Oh, well, we gave him cereal that had little bits of fake fruit in it, and then we added more fruit in it, and I think it was a bran. You think. Okay. Right. Oh, well, we gave him barley with green beans. All right, so you made him gassy, and not only gassy, but you constipated him. Okay. Do you see where I'm going with that, people? As that person is just lurking. Lurking. And this is what the Provincial Court of British Columbia, Canada, considers to be healthy. Anyway, there's his carrot juice. Speaking of healthy, because they have all these recalls with Listeria and E. coli and Salmonella and all this other crap, right? I am going to pasteurize this before I put it in with his watermelon. I make sure that I, what do you call that? Wash the watermelon. Right? Very, very good before I cut into it. Because watermelons can have salmonella. Salmonella, you know, from lizards because they grow out in the Arizona desert, places like that where lizards crawl. And because the lizards crawl over the watermelons, that's how you can get salmonella poisoning from a watermelon if you don't wash it. I have never heard about getting it from the flesh itself, but on the outside, you definitely want to wash it. So if you don't remember how to pasteurize, it's bring it up to 190 and you just hold it with this thermometer for 1 minute. And then I'm going to cool it. And I'm going to incorporate it into some of the baby jars. I'm short on baby jars because I gave some to Tisha. She hasn't brought them back. So I have to go out and buy more baby jars. Baby bottles, I should say. And so anyway, yeah. So I'm going to pasteurize the carrot juice just to be on the safe side, right? His immune system is good. Amari has a very strong immune system at this point, but I don't want to test fate. So because it's a root vegetable and it's grown directly in the ground, and they're always doing recalls based around all these bacterias that are in the dirt as they're growing these things, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to pasteurize it. I would with spinach. I'd do it probably with beets. For now, anyway. And I mean, it's only 1 minute for 190, right? I've boiled the water so to get rid of the chlorine for the fermented whatnot. This tends to, now I'm all paranoid, people. Like, this is how stressful I get with this. Now I'm all paranoid with the potassium that's in the coconut water, right? Wondering how much I should put in the juice so that I don't give him too much. Not knowing if those other people are giving him coconut water. What if they're giving him coconut water, people, not even realizing that too much coconut water could be very detrimental to him, especially when they don't care about what foods they're feeding him in terms of, you know, I told her, Google online, see what foods are constipating before you give it to him. Google barley, it will tell you barley is freaking constipating. Barley might be something better to ferment, but I don't have enough knowledge around fermenting foods because that's just not something I've ever really done. But this other person that's giving me advice about carrots and peas and all this other stuff and meat and blah, you know, maybe she might know if you can ferment barley. Maybe barley being fermented is better to give Amari than it is to give it to him in a like, how much barley? You know, is it just a few grains of barley? Because if it's just a few grains of barley, it's probably okay. But if it's a tablespoon of barley within a meal, that would be too much for him. Now I sound like I'm whining. So as you can see, moving along, right, I washed everything. Just if I'm going to pasteurize, right, the carrot juice, I'm going to wash the container, right? So I've washed everything and I'm starting fresh. Right, rinse out the bowl, whatever. I mean, I'm probably overreacting here, but just for now, because I feel so insecure about everything, people, I'm just trying to be on the safe side, right? So nobody can come back to me and with bullshit, right? Because I'm already dealing with enough bullshit. Hold on. Not sure if this is working. Oh, turn it off for a minute. Okay, I don't even know what this thing is doing, man. I think it's recording. I overcooked the carrot juice. I'm so stressed out, people. You know, like I said, I can't cry for my daughter. Right? And I don't have time to cry for Amari. Right? Because I really, you know, I worry all the time, people. I want to get a cold press juicier, but those are expensive. They're like $500-600, right? So for now, I just have to deal with this, right? Camera's getting all gooey now. And so anyway, I looked up potassium. There's a lot of foods that have potassium, right? Coconut water is very high in potassium, though. So you need a fair amount of potassium in your diet. But what you want to do is avoid overdoing it, right? Like I said, you have to learn how to be a scientist for this. Right? I'm just trying to protect it. Hold on. I don't know if that was filming or not. Okay, so now it's recording. I don't think what I just said recorded. Whatever it was, people, I'm just stressing. Seriously. I'm going to need to go off and buy some more bottles. I mean, I could use these, and I'm going to have to because I don't think I have enough bottles here. I have bottles in the freezer with the beef broth in them, right? I seem to have lost a couple of these. I don't know where they are. I should have more than 4. Anyway, there's the pulp. So that gets into a container, goes in the freezer, right? So here's this potassium, coconut water. Like, I don't know. I guess you can kind of go like this. Maybe put some of them in first. You know, he's just a baby, right? So you don't want too much. Now, he's not getting juice all day like this, right? This is how I'm going to do it. Alright, just, do you see how I'm doing this? He's happy because he had his watermelon. You can hear him. He's playing. Alright. I don't think that's too much. He doesn't get it every day, and so this is where these little round caps that are labeled would be good, because you could put coconut water with it, right? And then you would know not to give them too much. There's still quite a bit there. So maybe we'll do some jars in a bit. I don't know. This, like I said, I got distracted and it heated up very quickly, and when I got to it, it was already bubbling, so I just turned it down. It's very sweet. It's very tasty, actually. Very tasty. So I'm going to get a funnel and do something here. Hold on. Okay, so what we got here, people, is mason jars. Right? You want a jar that's like fairly thick. Like these bottles, these baby bottles they're not good. They're too thin. Right? I bought these, I don't really like them. But anyway, I like these ones better because they're just stronger, right? And almost equal to a mason jar in terms of thickness. So as you can see, this is the coconut water with the watermelon. This is just straight up watermelon. These ones are with the carrot. Right? And then I just top them off. You have to remember, people, when my daughter died, there was other people that just thought that automatic by default that they would get the baby. They were trying to take the baby 2 days, 3 days after my daughter left the hospital. They almost kidnapped the baby. What is that telling you? Right? So anyway, leave enough room there to for it to expand. So that's now I have to somehow figure it out in my deep freeze so I don't get confused, right? So that's not too bad. Okay, now we're gonna get on to some fermenting. Hold on. Okay, so I got everything in the freezer. As it freezes, it's gonna you know, settle, right? This is the watermelon juice that I made from before, right? If it was pineapple, you would be able to see the pineapple in there. So it settles. So with the carrot, you'll be able to see it, right? Anyway, okay. So now we've got the carrot pulp and some frozen peas, right? I'm lucky. I have grape leaves, right? So whenever I make cucumbers, or pickles or whatever, I always use the grape leaves. And then so I put on the bottom of this jar some grape leaves. It gives the tannin. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I don't think I have enough. But now I'm going to take some water. I'll cover those up. I'll put a little bit of water in there. This is why I asked this lady to mentor me. I just don't know if she can cope with my dilemmas in terms of, you know, those things that happen to my family, right? Okay, there's one chopstick. And here's another one. So this one seems to be okay. I'm not doing anything other than... This is a tablespoon and a half. It's not even a full quart. So I'm just going to put that in there. It should be enough. She can look at my video if she has time, and she can tell me if it's enough. It should be enough. Oops, I'm mixing the leaf around. I made a mistake there. Do you see that? Anyway, that's okay. This needs more water, I would think. I'm doing this, people, because I'm trying to help Amari with his gut. Alright? So he can digest food more easily. Something's wrong. So I don't know what's happening here, but it's really swelling up. So, hold on a minute. Okay, so basically I put in a tablespoon of Himalaya salt into this pot here, and I'm just stirring it around. What's left of this water. And I am going to pour it right into there. And then I'm going to move it around. That's how I'm going to do it. Alright. So that salt gets throughout the whole thing. Alright. Having severe panic attacks, people. That's what's happening here. Thinking about barley and pasta. As if I don't have enough problems. I gotta worry about barley and pasta. Okay, so. And then, I just fold these over. That's the way I'm gonna do it. People use cabbage leaves because not everybody has access to grape leaves. But grape leaves have tannin in them, which is good for you. So I am just going to, do you see, I just fold it over myself. And then I am just going to take that. Oops, sorry, wandering eye. I'll go like that. I don't really have weights for these, but as long as you get the general idea going here, right? So I'm going to do a few more of those, right? Do you see what I'm doing? And then I'm going to do the same thing with the peas. Hold on. Okay, so that's basically it. This one I'm going to have a bit of problem with. However, I could probably take out just a tad of liquid, because what's going to happen here, you can see there's a rock. It's a little high. I already took some out, so maybe I'll make some soup or something. Actually, I took out some soup from the freezer, so I'll just throw that in with the soup. That'll be fine. So I'm just taking off a bit of this liquid, because it's what's going to happen is the bubbles come. It's going to overflow. Right? I asked this lady if it was possible to do this with the peas frozen, or did they have to be fresh? She said no, they can be frozen, so they're in there. And I asked her if I can do the carrot this way, right? Then this way I don't have to. I may have put a bit too much salt in it. I don't know. We'll see. And then you put your lid on, but don't tie it on tight. Don't screw it on tight, right? so it can release. And because that one's so full, I'm gonna put it, excuse me, on a plate. This one should be fine. Okay, so I'm going to end it on here, but I am going to, after this, if you've taken the time to watch the whole video, you will see what I'm up against, because I am going to include that little clip with what I videotaped this morning in terms of what Amari's poo, right? Just because, like, it's ridiculous, people. Like, something needs to change. It's too hard on him, right? It's not something wrong. So anyway, these will go in the freezer. You see, he really loves those. And when I give them to him regularly, it's working. Does this kind of coconut have a lot of potassium in it? I don't know. Coconut water does. Do you drink this coconut water? I don't know. Anyway, you can see I've got 4 of them there. Right. And then this I'm going to give to Amari half a little later on, if not all of it. Well, you know, I just want his stomach to relax, right? So I'll probably give him half of this later on before the end of the evening, and then the other half can go in the fridge and he can have it tomorrow. Well, those ones go in the fridge, and then I've got another watermelon that Andre wants to get into, so I'll end up cutting that one, right? I've got enough right now in terms of what's in the freezer for a little while. So, yeah, this is, he's happy now. Now he's happy. Do you hear him? Say goodbye, Amari. Say bye-bye. Amari. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Amari. May had a cold and he caught one.